Hello out there. It's Green Guy here with Green Guy Finance, coming at you with another video on the eternal quest to get more followers. so, let's do a quick recap of today. Made a lot of money, and GoPro was a champ, just like I said in yesterday's video. So hopefully you guys watched that. If you didn't catch that particular play, then Baba was gold today. And Stratasys did have a bit of a buying action in the middle of the day there. As I predicted, it didn't have a total fade all day, but it was pretty remarkable what happened in Stratasys, was it not? Gotta say, plays were so easy today. If you didn't make money, just follow me and listen to everything I do, because this was a day that there were plays even beyond what I had in the video. Let's just take, for instance, the midterm elections. Midterm elections, we have a Republican legislative body now. So think of the most stereotypical Republican things you can think of. They are pro-oil, they are against alternative energy, they are pro the market. Isn't that sort of what we saw here today? I mean, how much did you have to think about that before you knew that there'd be some crazy person out there selling Solar City, or that the energy plays would take off just because of the Republican Congress taking over? Those were easy plays too. There was just a lot out there to grab, and not enough money to grab it all with. I needed 9 other accounts with cash that was unsettled just to get everything that was out there today. But I think it's going to continue. The trend right now is that we've been having these flat little all-time high days. If you've been watching the videos, we've been saying we're not in that rebound game anymore. We caught up. Now we're doing this how much higher can I go type game in the overall S&P 500. So it's a different sort of play, is it not? You have to pick directional plays. You can't do the strangles. And in addition to that, you have to have confirming price action in some of the lingering fear stocks that we've been looking at. Say, for instance, the U.S. oil. Oil has been selling off since the European recession basically started, and it's been scaring the bejesus out of a lot of traders. We want to see that rebound. I think we have a chance to do that now. We had a decent amount of green volume here today, and we had a little bit of a candle. It wasn't these flat little dojis, but we need this to rebound. Just if you don't realize how cheap oil is, some of the oil rigs are drilling at a profitless basis right now because oil is so cheap. We need it to come back just so that can happen, and we could see a major rebound in energy just from that. The VIX has not shed its lingering fear yet. We want that to come off, but it's coming a little bit. Same with treasuries. A little bit coming off. We're seeing some of that lingering fear go away. We want to see that continue. In addition to that, let's go back and take a look at just this. October 16th was when we had the bottoming of that dip. That's it. It wasn't that long ago, if you think about it, people. We had a very fast rate of recovery. And we've been having some profit taking in the momentum names. This is 16 monthly charts. These are monthly charts, all of them, of the momentum names. And we've been seeing a lot of nasty price action come out of the momentum names, have we not? Especially the last couple days. What have we been seeing? 2 things primarily. The earnings plays have been slaughtering many names with few exceptions. Apple's been doing pretty well. Tesla had a good after-hours earnings tonight on the 5th. But a lot of these have not fared very well. The Netflixes, the Amazons, the Facebooks, etc. You can just look at the gaps on the chart and know exactly what happened during the earnings, because we've had these dramatic earnings reactions. But can go to the price action. Since then, we've had these really slow, grinding, nasty price actions. Facebook has been very stubborn. Amazon's been very stubborn. And this is since the earnings. I attribute a lot of this to profit taking. I really do. And I think we're coming close to the end of that. My market theory currently is that we are setting up for higher. But before that happens, we have to grind out some of these profit takers first. So we're going to be looking for that, specifically that. Bounding price action and at least a couple names other than Apple and other than Baba. We want to see some really dramatic greenery in the momentum names. And then I think we're going to be set up to go and break that 202 upwards with grace. So keep your eye on that. We're looking for catalysts. Let's go through some specific catalysts. Upgrades that start influencing the stock. We haven't seen many of these in a while. People have been so focused on the earnings. There haven't even been that many upgrades on the momentum names that have really made any difference whatsoever. Let's start looking for that, a return to normal. And I think we're getting close. Let's take a little further look at something I played today that did not go my way, but it had an interesting reaction, which was Facebook. So at 2 p.m. today, Facebook had a news break. You can see the spike there, green. That's when it broke. About China not censoring some mass media companies. Facebook was particularly mentioned, and so was Google. So that should be good news for them. That's a huge market they could expand into further. And knowing that they're not censored, people would probably gravitate to them more as opposed to some of the other applications that people have been trying to do. But this is the first crack in the Chinese firewall. That's a huge story. Now, it hasn't been implemented, but this is what they're talking about for the upcoming conference. That's big. But we didn't have good price action off of it. So we're looking for catalysts that have a reaction in the stock that make it go upwards in a positive way, at least in one of the momentum names. And once we notice that pattern, I think it's going to signal a lot of these to start taking off. But until then, I am going to be very cautious. I'm not going to trust a whole lot of upgrades. And I'm going to be looking for this silly sideways or downwards grinding action until proven otherwise. But you always have to be a step ahead, and you always have to be looking what's coming next. All that being said, what do I have for you guys tomorrow? Not a whole lot. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about the major trend, but I want to make note of one stock I've been keeping a very close eye on for quite a while, GM. GM, let's go to the, let's see. Yeah, this is the 3-month chart of GM. It's been really disgusting, has it not? Let's see, one of these. There we go. This is Tesla in the price action. Blue is Ford and white is GM. This is a correlation chart going back 1 month. You guys can see basically they're trending very well, all three of these names. GM is on the bottom, Ford is a little bit higher, but what we're seeing is that this looks like it's been bottoming pretty well, has it not? For that, the past two weeks here, we've seen a very nice reaction to the good news and the bad news. But the important thing, in my mind, is that the bad news hasn't been dragging it down. I think we've seen a bottom. And with GM, has a fantastic dividend play. So for those of you looking for a long play, I would say GM is a really nice buy and hold. 6 months, a year, 4% dividend stock. You could play it like Buffett, buy it and keep it till you die, sort of deal. You don't pay a whole lot of taxes if you hold it forever. That's ideally what you want to do with these kinds of plays. GM here really could be a boomer, but picking an absolute bottom in a stock like this is not easy. There was news out on GM. Basically, they are funneling together $10 billion to pay for the recalls and etc. But it looks like we've had the worst news come out that can possibly come out, and the stock hasn't dipped a whole lot lower. So that's that. The other thing is Tesla here tonight, just tonight, which trends with those auto industries, the Ford and the GMs, etc., has had a fantastic earnings report. And I think you could start to see things be lifted out. You're seeing good news for the sector. I think this is a place of growth. And I think that things have been so bad for so long that now you're going to start to see things really take off. That's it. That's all I got for you guys tonight. I don't really have a whole lot else. I'm going to be looking for more, but that's pretty much it. Solars, I'm going to keep an eye on those for the next couple of days to see if they're continuing to sell off just because of the midterm elections type deal. But I really think that if oil starts to recover, like we've been talking about, and we start to see our alternative energies bottoming and reacting to the oil eventually. We want to see that. We want to see a correlation between those. Then we can start to see those things take off. And that could be one sector that'd be really nice to play. But, to be seen yet. To be seen. Really going to have to keep just my eyes open tomorrow, and you guys should too, for what is going to be a catalyst that's going to move. So tomorrow might be one of those kinds of days I am mostly watching and not buying. It really depends. But guys, that's all I got for you. I wish I could predict another GoPro here tonight. Can't do it. It's just not every day that those happen. So, short video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, any feedback, just message me on Twitter or StockTwits, Green Guy Finance. If you have stocks you want me to look at, I will include those. All right. Have a good night.